The Writer's Dossier Podcast is a proud member of the Authors on the Air Global Radio Network.
I'm Winter Austin, and this is my Writer's Dossier.
No writers were harmed in the production of this podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Writer's Dossier Podcast. I'm Jeff Circle, your host, and today, I know I say this every time, it's a special episode because I always feel like I have on friends and people who I've known for a while, and we did Winter Austin's dossier last year, and ever since, I've just thought, we've got to talk because she writes these really cool books and she does these really cool things. I wanted to bring her on and say hi. So Winter, thanks for joining the Writer's Dossier Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet. We did your dossier, like I said, last year. People get to know Winter Austin. That is her name, Winter Austin. That isn't a pen name or anything else like that. Her declassified and unredacted information is on the Writer's Dossier. And one of the things that we talked about on that was your name. And let's just set the record straight for all you people out there. Writers, fans, county fair attendees. Winter is her real name, okay? She gets a lot of crap about this. And, you know, you get the jovial, hey, so, let me guess, were you born in January? Okay, yeah, people knock that off, right? Winter, I mean, come on. You need a break from this. So let's just set the record straight and get it out so people stop asking you this, right?
Yeah.
Come
so,
on.
yes, that's usually the first thing that people say, were you born in the winter? And no, I was not. And two, the next one is, I know a summer, a January, an April, a May, a June. And I'm like, good for you. And then they're like, you're the first winter I've ever met. And I'm like, yeah, I won't be the last. So, yeah, my mom had a good idea. I don't think anybody knew that it would get to this point where I would be a published author, and that would be, my selling point. So it's, as my editor always says, Winter Austin is my brand. When you pick up a book with my name on it, you know what you're going to get.
There you go. Everybody out there, start thinking of a different name for Jeff Circle. What'll look good on a book cover? We'll take comments at thewritersdossier.com. So thanks for clearing that up. People stop bugging her. But pick up her books. So you are out now with Ride a Dark Trail, and this is super cool for a couple reasons. One, I have a copy, which was awesome to read, and two, it's the start of a new series for you. You are calling it, what are you calling this series?
The editing team at Thule Publishing decided they would go with a Bounty of Shadow series. So, which at the time I had not come up with a business name for my bounty hunters, and so I worked in shadow to it, so they're called Shadow Force Solutions. So I always have to play on that.
I love the cover because it's a great title, Ride a Dark Trail. Already you get an idea, and then Bounty of Shadows. I just love that. So Thule did a good job on that. And I am calling I'm calling Ride a Dark Trail, Echoes of Yellowstone meets Magnum P.I. come together in a chilling Idaho plot that you'll want to get to the bottom of. Thanks for asking me to read this book, Ride a Dark Trail, and getting to know Dorothy Ybarra. I am crazy about this character. Tell me and tell everybody about Dot.
Dot is the character I've always wanted to write. A female who just doesn't give two shits.
She doesn't, man. It's awesome.
I had a character way back in the day that came close, but it was out of a romantic suspense that I had, and I had my hands tied just a little bit with how to actually make her the way I wanted to. Oddly enough, she's the favorite character of my editors that I've ever wrote, hands down to this day. We're 12 years, 13 years working together. It's still her favorite character, but she's fallen in love with Dot. So, Dot takes that character to a whole new level of don't give two shits, has no qualms about pulling the trigger or notching an arrow and letting it fly and putting somebody down when the people she loves or has grown to be affectionate towards are in danger. So yeah.
Yeah, I love her toughness. I think people who write female characters, strong female characters, it's such a refreshing approach to a strong protagonist like that, because it's just different and you can do it wrong, but you did it right. But I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, I think a lot of people who go to write a strong female protagonist think, oh, I'm just going to have a tough guy and then just make it a girl. And so it'll be like, I don't know, a girl who has these tough guy qualities. But with her, it's different a little bit. Is that, how did you approach writing a tough girl as tough as Dorothy Ybarra?
I think part of that problem is it's usually you're reading guys trying to write women. And there is a definite mindset difference between a man and a woman. So me writing a female character.
Breaking news here, everybody.
I draw the line. So I have very rarely run into a male author who does a very good job writing a female character that's fairly tough and strong, but there's always that difference, because like you said, they're trying to make it a man but turn it into a woman. So me, it's not that way. I'm a woman, I'm writing a female character, and I have long done this. I did it in my Benoit and Dane series. Both Ellie and Lila have their own form of toughness that I put in there, but Dot is a whole nother level. She was raised by her grandfather and her single mother in the mountainous areas of Idaho on a Basque sheep ranch. So her grandfather taught her everything: how to hunt, how to track, how to ranch, how to do everything she needed to do, the same as he had taught her mother, because they live in an area that is so wild and unpredictable. You can't be squeamish. You can't be, soft. This is a hard country and you need to be hard. So Dot is that way. And then she went into the Army. She was a helicopter pilot, and she was the main helicopter pilot for a long time, flying some of like TJ, who you get to meet in the book, his ranger unit in and out of the mountains on missions. So Dot is pretty unique. And then when she came home, she flew for the Forest Service until she got in a helicopter crash, which in reality, most people don't survive from, but I made her because there'd be no Dot if I, but you always have to have some kind of trauma of sorts for your characters, for you to build off of to make. So her trauma from that is what made her stronger and kind of pulled her out of her little hermit or seclusion that she put herself in.
Yeah, I just loved reading her character develop and just seeing her. I'm like, oh yeah, she's so cool. Being in the military myself, I've seen a lot of females do some really cool things, and those things really stood out. And that's the feeling I got from Write a Dark Trail. Yeah, different than your Ellie and Laura from your Benoit and Dane series, which people still need to check out. I think there are 4 books in that series. You can grab them now, catch up on Winter Austin, but coming out here soon, July, Thule's publishing out Write a Dark Tale. When does it come out in July?
Actually, it's August. No, it's August. So August 18th is its official release date, but we're already on track with promoting it and getting it out there. In fact, I've got so many personal appearances lined up here in the next, through July and August, even into September and October. So I push this book locally, but yeah, it's August 18th, right after
August 18th. There you go. There you go. So chances are, even though we're recording this on the 4th of July, so yeah, go America, this will be dropping right around that time so people can go out and get Write a Dark Trail. So you mentioned something else too about her working with the Forest Service, doing some hard things in a hard country. Let's turn the lens around a little bit. You yourself and your family, you do some crazy stuff out in Iowa too. You're always covered in sheep and goat and cow poo. What's the deal there? Because, you bring a lot of authenticity to your books based on your own personal experience there in Iowa. So talk a little bit about that and tell everybody a little bit more about you with that.
Yeah. With Benoit and Dane, that is actually set in Iowa. So I do put a lot of, the setting and everything is personal experience. I am actually describing areas that I have lived in or visit or, been around for a good chunk of my life. But
corn farms. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, corn crop farming is soybeans and corn. And yes, we outdo Nebraska no matter what they think.
Yeah, take that, Huskers.
This coming from an Iowa State fan too. So yeah, the Nebraska Huskers are a dirty word in Iowa, even for the Iowa Hawkeye fan. So, but yeah, during the summer from the end of May clear through, except for this year, we are taking a break from the state fair due to some extenuating circumstances, but I am covered in goat hair after clipping goat poop water. So, and the goat thing has just been in here in the last 3 years. Before that, it's always been cattle. My daughter got into showing cattle when she was in middle school. And that was after we had lived in Illinois for about 9 years. Then we moved back to Iowa, and she finally got to get into the cattle and showing horses. And so we've been involved with that for a long time. In fact, and this is a shout out because our great state does this during the Iowa State Fair. We have a special fundraiser for the Ronald McDonald Houses of Iowa called the Governor's Charity Steer Show. My daughter did that in 2019, and we have been involved with it every year since in some form or fashion. And this year, our county is providing the steer and the exhibitor, and we've been helping with that too through our local cattlemen's association. And my daughter is in charge of that.
Good for you, good for her.
Yeah. So it's a good way to get publicity out there. And it's kind of teaching my daughter how to be a salesman, which she's still got some learning to do.
Still got some learning to do. So she's not quite as popular as that one girl who I've seen who's like, she like looks at the judges and she's like, does this. It's like, yeah, I know you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, Karis. Their family's out in California, but I have sent videos of her to my niece, and so my niece is starting to emulate her just a little bit. But
yeah, people are picking it up. Even that girl's little brother is showing now, and he's doing the same thing. He's like,
oh yeah,
it's a riot.
And if I think right on that one, I've watched videos of their mom talking. They got it from her, so she's doing that. But yeah, showing animals is very unique. I have really enjoyed it. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would trade it. The downside is, I mean, I've grown up in the farming community my entire life. Been around animals, death, sales, that type of thing is a given. You know it's going to happen. But it still hurts when we market goat and know we have to turn around and sell him. So the one that my niece had this year, we actually bred his mom and raised him from birth, and it's probably going to hurt a little bit harder when he goes to the sale barn. But
oh yeah, I can't imagine. I've been around baby goats, and yeah,
they're cute. They're cute, but as we have all learned, there is no goat-proof fencing. If a goat wants out, they will get out.
Yeah, goats, they're something. Let me ask you, this is a serious question now. Everyone, if you're driving or if you're watching this, just take a moment. A serious question. Why is your glass perpetually half empty? And to that, do you got the morbs like fellow Dossier member Mary Thorson, shout out to Mary, or is it because you live in Iowa like fellow Dossier member Terrence Lehue that you've just gotten used to disappointment?
I think it's not that the disappointment.
Okay. So why is the glass half full?
It's definitely because I have had a sense of the macabre from a very early age. I will kid you not. In fact, it rubbed off onto my oldest son, who is now a mortician.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I have never been squeamish about, violence of sorts and blood and, all that things. Yes, death does bother me. And the smell of decomp you can't go anywhere in the state of Iowa, especially in rural Iowa, and not come across carcasses along the road and smell it. So yeah. It's gross. But it's
same here in Northwest Ohio. Everything. I get it.
Yeah. But I actually took that concept, that statement from, her name is eluding me at the moment. She's a suspense author. I don't know if she's still around. It's been a long time, but I took a workshop at one of the writers' conferences when it was about up all night suspense, you know. And she always told people that you kind of, to be able to write that type of book, kind of have to have a pessimistic outlook on life. So that half glass empty is always got to be there. And I'm like, I have always had that. I would get told by people, you need to be more positive. And I'm like, this is reality, people. Come on. There's no positive outlook to this.
So you've turned it into something good. You're the happy mortician's mom.
Who is also in the National Guard. But he was supposed to be a cop, but when he got into all of that, you know, when he was starting to do the classes and think about getting into the academy was when 2020 and 2021 were going on, and he's like, no, I'm not doing this. And then he deployed. So, yeah, he was like, nope. And he finally came home. He's like, I know what I want to do now. And I'm like, what? I want to be a mortician. I said, took you long enough. So
that's hilarious. When I was a cop, we had someone who came onto my team, and she was there for a couple years, and she went on to the coroner's office. And for the last 15 years, she's worked for the Charleston County Coroner's Office. So yeah, it's a career path. Good for you guys. Not for me. I about passed out of my first autopsy. So let's move on.
He's going to be great for research, though. So he's already promised
yes.
me I could ask him questions.
And again, folks out there listening, the authenticity that Winter Austin brings to these books because of her background, and we've kind of covered some of it here today. I mean, you're going to enjoy these books. So get Ride a Dark Trail, August 18th, and find out about Winter Austin and go to authorwinteraustin.com. That's your website, right? Yep, authorwinteraustin.com. Follow her on social media. Like, share, subscribe, bells and buttons, all that stuff, both with not just this podcast. Come on, internet, make me rich. Or follow Winter Austin and get people to buy her books and take a look. Just read the synopsis. Just go to Amazon or go to her website. Check out these books. You're going to enjoy them, and you're going to enjoy everything that Winter Austin brings to the table. That's all I have here today. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for sharing so much stuff with us about your past and your present and all these books. So I think people are going to love Ride a Dark Trail. So thanks for sending it to me, and it's so great to have you here on the Writer's Dossier.
Thanks, Jeff.
You bet. Bye, everybody. All right. There we go.
The Dossier Podcast is a production of The Idea Academy.
And we're here to talk about her most recent one, Ride a Dark Trail. This is cool for a couple of reasons. One, I got a copy of it, and it's super. And two, it's the new series that you have where you're gonna hop. All right, I'm gonna edit this crap. That's something that I do. I cut stupid shit out that I do.
I figured that would be the case.
We have these moments. Okay, I'm gonna start over.
Ooh.